Once upon a time, there lived a young woman called Kirote. Kirote was very beautiful and she lived with her uncle Kaduri and her cousin Karemi. Kirote and Karemi were of the same age and they were childhood best friends, but as they were growing up, their friendship fell apart because Karemi was jealous of her. You see, Nkirote received a lot of attention from people because they loved her. Nkirote was extremely beautiful, kind towards others, and she was very caring, and so people loved her for this. Karimi, on the other hand, was very mean towards people and selfish, and so no one wanted to associate with her or give her any attention. And so, because of this, Karemi despised Nkirote very much. Karemi hated her and she was always rude and disrespectful towards her. Nkirote also had a boyfriend named Oluoch. They loved each other so much and everyone in the village knew about their relationship. As they worked together, people would normally say, "Oh my, they look perfect together. I want to have a strong bond like theirs." I'm telling you guys, Kirote and Oluoch loved each other so much to the extent that they followed each other everywhere. If you went to the market, you will see them together. If you went to the river, you'll still see Oluoch helping Kirote fetch water. To add it all up, Oluoch met all the requirements that Kirote wanted her man to have. He was tall, caring, kind-hearted, and he understood her and saw her for who she really was. Occasionally, Oluoch brought gifts and garments to Kirote, and she loved it. Despite Oluoch and Kirote being nice and friendly, their love always angered two people. Kirote's uncle, whose name was Kathuri, and her cousin Karemi. Karemi was envious of Kirote. She was jealous of how Oluoch treated Kirote and she wished that Oluoch would be hers instead. So whenever Karemi saw Oluoch and Kirote smiling and hanging out, she felt bitter. Why didn't Kirote have everything good in life? She wondered. I must steal her man, she thought to herself. So one night, Karemi decided to go and seduce Oluoch so that he will be hers. She ensured that Kirote and her father were dead asleep and she sneaked from the house. Upon reaching Oluoch's house, she knocked as she said, "Oluoch, wake up. I need to tell you something about Kirote. Please, it's important." And so Oluoch woke up and opened the door. Before he could even greet her, Karemi forced her way into Oluoch's house. Oluoch looked at Karemi and asked, "You said you wanted to give me an urgent message. What is that urgent that you couldn't speak to me about in the morning? And why are you dressed like this? Don't you fear the cold?" So Karemi moved closer to Oluoch and said, "Honey, I have dressed like this for you because I can't get you off my mind." Oluoch looked at her confused and surprised as he begged Karemi to go back home. "Karemi, I love your cousin so much. I don't love you. Please go back home. Does your cousin or father know that you are here right now? Kindly please leave my house." Karemi smiled at him as she undressed, saying, "Don't you like what you're seeing? Stop resisting. I know you want me." Oluoch became furious and he told Karemi, "Get out of my house now." Karemi still smiled as she told him, "Don't shout at me again. I will scream and tell people that you're trying to rape me. I am not leaving your house." Oluoch was furious as he wondered how he would deal with the situation. Luckily, Oluoch's father had heard the quarreling among them and he came and chased Karemi out of the house. As she went back home, Karemi was angry. angry that her plan had not worked out and embarrassed that Oluoch's father had caught her trying to seduce her son. She sneaked back into their house without anyone noticing. So the next day, Oluoch told Kirote about what her cousin had done, and she was surprised that Karemi wanted to steal her man. Oluoch, this family is going to kill me one day. Why do everyone in that house hate me so much? They leave all the work for me to do, and I do it all without complaint. And now they also want to steal you away from me? No, I cannot let that happen, Kirote said as she was crying. Oluoch tried to comfort her as he wiped her tears off and said to her, I will be coming to pay your bride price soon, so don't worry, I will take you away from that house. So the day came when Oluoch and his father and uncles decided to go to Kirote's house and pay for her bride price. They had brought with them palm wine and 2 goats. Kirote's uncle looked at them badly as they approached the house. After greeting him and everything, they stated their request to marry Kirote. Please, Father, with your blessings and approval, allow me to marry your niece Kirote, for I love her so much. We have come to pay for her bride price, Oluoch said. Without even letting Oluoch finish his statement, Kirote's uncle shouted, You people, get out of my house. I will not allow you marry my niece, poor bastard. And never call me father. I am not your father and I will never be. Oluoch or whatever you call yourself, I will never allow you marrying Kirote. Do you know how much money and resources I have used in raising Kirote, and she's not even my own? I must be paid for all that, for even the gods know I was forced to raise Kirote. I never wanted her. She must be married to a rich man who will repay me for all I have done for that girl. Kirote is my ticket to wealth. So you poor bastards, get out of my house. And so Oluoch and his family left, feeling very disappointed and angry. Upon hearing that her uncle had chased Oluoch out of the house, Kirote was heartbroken. She cried bitterly as she wondered why her uncle had so much evilness. Despite Kathuri rejecting their request to marry each other, Kirote and Oluoch still loved each other and spent time together. So one day, a very rich old man went to Kirote's uncle to ask for Kirote's hand in marriage. He had brought with him 2 cows, some cash and gifts. Allow me marry your niece, the old man said. These little gifts are an example of the benefits that you will get if you allow me to marry Kirote. If you give her to me, I will give you 100 acres of land near Mbuyu River. In addition, I will give you lots of cattle and cash, and I will also employ workers to help you in the house. So, what is your decision? Kathuri answered, I promise you, Kirote will be your wife soon and you will be lucky to have her. My in-law, you can even give me part of the bride price right now because she is already yours. Kathuri and the old man, whose name was Makori, continued chatting and laughing. The old man, who was very loaded with cash, gave Kathuri some part of the money meant for the bride price and asked him when he would expect to have his wife. You will have Kirote soon, but we must plot on how to get her to be your wife because she is stuck up on that Oluoch guy. But I have an idea, Kirote's uncle said and whispered the idea on the old man's ear. After that, the rich old man left, feeling so happy that he would have beautiful Kirote soon as his wife. So one day, as Kirote was going to Oluoch's place, some men came onto her, blindfolded her and kidnapped her. Kirot tried shouting and screaming, but no one came to rescue her because the area she was in had no houses and no people. So the men carried her and took her away. Because of all this shock, Kirot fainted and she was surprised to see herself in a beautiful colored room when she woke up. Where am I? She wondered. She tried to open the door, but the door was closed. She then went on to shout, "Somebody help! If you're hearing me, please help me." Immediately, someone opened the door and the old man entered the room. The old man looked at Kirot and said, "Don't worry, beautiful woman. You're safe with me. I already paid your bride price, so feel free in this home because you're my wife. This is your new home and I am your dear husband." Kirot looked at him as she cried, "Please, old man, take me back home. I don't want you, please." Kirot said. The rich old man looked at her and gave her a demonic laugh. "Did you not get what I was saying? You are my wife and don't try me. Stop crying and get used to this because from now on, this is your life and soon you will give me some cute children." And with that, the old man left and closed the door with a bang. Kirot was left feeling so betrayed and angry. She cried, asking the gods why they had left her and why people were so evil towards her. Kirot was a captive in the old man's house. They locked her door every single day and only opened the door to give her meals. Kirot was bitter and she had given up on life and on herself. So one night, as Kirot was sleeping, she heard a knock on her window and somebody whispering, "Kirot, wake up. It's me, Oluoch. I have come to save you, my love. Wake up." Kirot thought she was dreaming and Oluoch kept whispering and knocking until Kirot finally woke up. She was happy to realize that she wasn't dreaming and that Oluoch had indeed come to save her. Oluoch quietly opened the window and Kirot was able to escape and they left. The next morning, the old man was angry when he couldn't find Kirot. He went to Kirot's place, but his uncle was surprised to hear that Kirot had escaped. The rich old man was angry and he told Kirot's uncle, "I want my wife back. If you do not give her back to me, then I expect you to refund all the money that I have given you for her bride price." And with the warning, the rich old man left. Kirot's uncle Kathuri and her daughter Karemi were troubled. They searched for Kirot everywhere, but they did not see her. They even went to Oluoch's house to threaten him, but they found Oluoch's father and he told them, "I have not seen Oluoch too since the past few days. Maybe he ran away with your daughter. I told you, Kathuri, I told you. You cannot separate two people who are deeply in love with each other." So every day, Kirot's uncle and Karemi went in search for them, but with no trace. Meanwhile, the rich old man was threatening them to return his money back or he will kill them. So one day, Karemi heard rumors that Kirot had been spotted somewhere. She and Kathuri left to go to that location where Kirot had been spotted. They were surprised to see that the house that people claimed to see Kirot living in was a mansion. And so they knocked on the door, praying and hoping that Kirot was living in that house. Suddenly, the door was opened and to their surprise, the person who opened it was Oluoch, looking all handsome and neat. Oluoch looked at them and said, "What do you want, you evil people?" Kathuri replied calmly, "Please, if Kirot is here, allow us to talk to her." Oluoch then shouted, "Baby, Baby, please come here. There's some few guests here who want to see you and speak with you. Kirot then softly said, Yes, wait a minute, I'm coming. Kaduri and Karemi were busy looking around and then boom, Kirot appeared. She was glowing and looking so good and suddenly her mood changed. What are you two doing here? Who showed you where we live? Please leave now. I don't want to speak to either of you. Kaduri then said, Please, my daughter, come home and go back to your husband. Please, he threatened to kill us if we don't take you back to him, and he also gave us an alternative to return back all the money that he has ever given us. So please, come with us, my dear child. Kirot then smiled as she said, I am not going anywhere. I begged you to allow me and Oluoch be, but you were too greedy, uncle. If only you were patient with us, all of this will not have happened. You are evil, uncle. You even kidnapped me for money so that I will be married to the old man. So no, I am not coming with you. Kaduri then cried begging, Please, then please borrow the one who owns this house the money so that the rich old man doesn't kill us. Please. Oluoch looked at Kaduri and said, I and Kirot own this house. I am no longer the poor bastard that you used to belittle. I am rich. I used to help this man who had no family, and I used to take care of him every single day. And when he died, he left all his property under my name. So yes, I am rich and I own this house and I am giving you nothing, you evil greedy soul. So, what's the moral lesson? This folktale teaches us that we should not be too greedy for money, fame, or any material things. We should also learn to be kind towards people no matter their status. Anyway guys, that was it for today's story. I really hope that you enjoyed it and learned something out of it. I hope to see you in my next video. Kwaheri!